Hello, Giants fans. Welcome to Giants Baseball 101. I'm Gabe Vaughn, your host. The Giants lost to the Dodgers 7-2 today, and I think that this loss effectively seals elimination for the Giants. The only comforting factor is that the Cubs lost their game, but honestly, at this point, it is that the Giants' deficit in the wild card race is realistically too much for them to come back on. So I think that elimination has effectively been sealed here, as much as it hurts to say it. But honestly, even though this was a disastrous game against the Dodgers, I'm not sure that we should really be surprised by it, because just honestly, were the Giants prepared to play the Dodgers? No, they were not. They were not prepared at all. And the damage, just I think it had already been done before today. And honestly, if they win one game of this series against the Dodgers, it'd have to be a miracle. So 7-2 blowout loss today. Kyle Harrison allowed 2 runs in 5 1/3 innings of work. The Giants tied it in the top of the 5th. They loaded the bases, and Tyler Fitzgerald, who was making his debut with the Giants, walked to score 1 run. And then in the 6th, Jock Peterson tied it with a homer. In the bottom of the 6th, I'm not entirely sure why Kyle Harrison came out of the game. I don't know whether it was an injury or just the fact that the Giants aren't quite bringing him up to 100 pitches yet. He threw 75 pitches before coming out after recording 1 out in the 6th, and I'm not sure. It might be made more clear later, but I'm not sure why it was that he came out. John Brebbia entered the game, and things just began to unleash from there. He allowed a triple to Will Smith, and then Freddie Freeman hit a sacrifice fly to drive in the go-ahead run for the Dodgers, put him ahead 3-2. The Giants did manage to get the bases loaded with 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning, but Wilmer Flores came to the plate, and I think this, if you had to ask me what exactly was the moment when the Giants' fate for 2023 was sealed, I would have to say this at bat right here. Wilmer Flores came up with the bases loaded and a chance to do some real damage and get the Giants back into the games. There was a chance for the Giants right there, and Wilmer Flores was the hitter that had the highest OPS on the Giants roster, and yet he popped out, failed to deliver in a clutch situation right there. But that's just something we're used to. It's becoming super old for the Giants as it is, and then it was just a disaster from there. Luke Jackson and Scott Alexander both came in from the bullpen and had completely disastrous outings, and it was just a classic Dodger victory over the Giants. I've said multiple times that the Giants have to be better, but they just have not, up to this point, been able to do that. It just doesn't appear to be good enough, and I get that there are ups and downs, and and one comes when we totally expect the other, and the Giants this year have just it's been their way to have an extremely hot streak or an extremely cold streak when we least expect it, and that does allow for the possibility that they jump in and kill it on the final games of the season here. But it's just honestly the ground that they'd have to make up. It would have to be so significant that it just doesn't appear to be realistic from here. And what I can't get over is the fact that they could not beat the Rockies. I mean, They had a 4-game series against the Rockies last week. That honestly was their opportunity to win some games right there. And it just, losing that series to the last place Rockies 3-1, that's the thing that to me is just beyond all explanation. It just, that was the Giants' opportunity. The Rockies have not amounted to anything at all this year. That series not going the Giants' way, it's just, man, they just can't, they can't get this together. And that's what brought them to this place here. So they have nine games remaining in the season. Still some opportunities for some of their young players, these prospects, to get at bats and innings pitched and to be further evaluated. That's probably the way the Giants can make the best use of their time going forward. So it was just, today's game, it was just a close one for a while until it just went negative and started going completely against the Giants. They swept the Dodgers earlier in the year, but that was, things have certainly spiraled downhill from there. So one of these years, they have to get things together. Thank you for watching. This has been Giants Baseball 101. Please subscribe if you haven't. Also, please leave your questions and comments. You know where to do it. I'll see you next time on Giants Baseball 101.